I'm the Beauty Professor, and you can find my beauty blog at beautyprofessor.com. I hope your November is off to a great start. Mine has been wildly busy already, and we just wrapped up with midterms and heading into the last third of the teaching semester. I can't believe how quickly it's passed. Also, of course, Johanna is growing and just doing so well. I'll try to insert some pictures into this video because she's napping right now. Otherwise, she's already 3.5 months old, and she's so happy. She's smiling all the time, and just such a joy for us to have. I'm excited to show you a fresh fall look featuring some products heavy in my rotation as of late. I'm focused on the Westman Atelier line, which you guys have asked me to talk about, and so I'll be showing you some key products, including foundation from that brand. I also have some favorites from Peau and Beaute and Gressa, so a really nice melange of products and different verticals of the beauty industry. I'm also excited to share with you a sneak peek at a lipstick collaboration I've been working on and wearing one of the 3 shades I've created right now, and you'll see it in action soon enough. I am so excited about how the shade turned out, and equally excited that it will be launching in the middle of November. So of course I'll continue to update with details as the lip color becomes available, but truly I've put my heart and soul into these shades, and I am thrilled to be able to share them with you. Many of you have asked me to do a video on my jewelry. I do wear my jewelry kind of perpetually. I like to buy pieces that I don't have to take off, so they're gold. And so I'll just do a quick breakdown of what I'm wearing, what I typically wear, and where I like to source them from, and then offer you guys some links below that will be to similar pieces. So I'm a big fan of antiques and estate jewelry. Stuff that's pre-owned doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I think you can get a really great deal when something's been pre-owned and authenticated. So I have 2 Cartier bracelets on this wrist. This one I got 10 years ago. This one I think 2 or 3 years ago. And this one's from the 1970s. This one is pre-owned, so it was an estate piece as well. And they just don't come off. I mean, I could take them off, but I don't. And they're a permanent part of my jewelry mix. On my neck, I have a Cartier Trinity Lariat. That was an estate piece I found in another state. It drops down to a lariat form if I want it to, but typically I just wear it closed up like this. And it is tri-gold, so it has the 3 different golds: pink, yellow, and white. Then I have this necklace that I found in Beverly Hills. It's an estate piece, unsigned, unmarked, but it is 18 karat gold, and I got a crazy good deal on it, and it never comes off. I wish I could link to something very similar, but it's really the only one I've ever seen like this. Most recently, I picked up this gold bead piece. These are 14 karat gold beads. It's an Art Nouveau piece from well over 100 years ago. I got it at Claude Moratti Jewelry in Beverly Hills, and they specialize in estate pieces. So beautiful, so carefully sourced. And this one I can just leave on. Even though it's old, I just leave it on, wear it in the shower. It's a permanent part of things. My long R necklace is a combination of an estate chain that I found not that long ago, and the R was given to me by my parents back at my high school graduation. So it's an older R. I've never seen one like it since then. It's just white gold with some tiny diamonds in here, but I love wearing it on a longer chain. Over here, a vintage Cartier baby bangle. It's my first piece of Cartier I ever ordered, and I got it on eBay. I bargained for it. It's official, it's authentic, I love it. This is a Tiffany's bracelet from the 1940s. And then for earrings, I ordered these earrings off of Amazon. They are not 14 karat gold, and they are clip-ons because my ears are not pierced. So a lot of you guys will ask me why I wear them here, what's going on. I don't have any piercings, but these are meant to be kind of like invisible clip-ons, but I like wearing them up here because I feel like they're more secure. I never have to worry about them falling off or being pulled off, especially when holding a baby. So it's kind of the way I like to wear them, and I'll make sure to link to them. They're readily available and incredibly inexpensive. I hope you enjoyed a glimpse into some of my jewelry. I'll try to talk about rings in the next video. And now we'll move on to the makeup look. I've started by priming my skin with the Augustinus Bader The Rich Cream. This is my 3rd bottle of this that I've been using since meeting with Dr. Bader gosh, a year ago at this point. And certainly there's been a lot of buzz about this cream since then. My mom and I both use it and absolutely love it as a single skincare force. I just usually do one pump. I'll just show you the consistency. The rich cream is very thick, but it is incredibly nourishing and it gives you all the hydration you need for the entire day. I use it day and night. Next, I'll be applying the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. Certainly no stranger in my videos and blog posts. I've been using it since early spring and I wear it in shade number 4. I like to wear it as a primer. You can also, of course, add it on top makeup as a glowy highlighter, but this is kind of how I apply. And I use a dampened beauty blender to evenly distribute it. You get a touch of coverage, a lot of glow, and a perfect kind of primed canvas for the foundation to come. Next, I'm going to be using the Westman Atelier Vital Skin Foundation Stick. You guys have been asking me to review this since its launch a few months ago, and I'm working with shade number 4 today. I'm so excited to give you an in-the-moment demonstration of it going onto my skin. So I would say shade 4 is good for NC 25 to 27 skin. My skin is kind of medium, light medium at this point with an olive undertone. And you'll see I just like to apply directly from the stick. Initially, this gives light medium coverage. It's not a typical super opaque foundation stick, but it is lightweight feeling and it does feel buildable. So I'm using the same beauty blender and I'm just going to tap it into my skin. And the finish is incredibly natural. It's not a satin finish, too glowy. It's also not matte. It just looks like really good skin, and I think that's to its credit. So here's the first pass with the foundation. So I wore this foundation all day yesterday. I tested it during a 12-hour teaching day, and the weather went from being very brisk in the morning to semi-humid and warm in the afternoon. I think that's always a great kind of landscape for testing the performance of a foundation, and I did not touch up once. I'm not going to set this with powder because I typically avoid doing that, but I will say that I expect equal longevity today because it's been proving itself thus far. So once again, buildable light to medium coverage. I probably could take this to full coverage, but I just haven't been going that route lately. And it feels just really comfortable and emollient on the skin. There is no fragrance. And it wears in a really formidable fashion over the course of a long day. Under eye region definitely needs some help. While I'm getting a little more sleep than I've been accustomed to for the last couple of months, it's still nowhere where I'd love for it to be. So I'm still battling dark circles and bags. I'm working with the Clé de Peau Beaute Radiant Corrector for Eyes in the shade Almond, which is my match for most of the year. And I'm just sweeping it in. I have swatches of every shade of this corrector on my blog, so I'll make sure to link to that. It's one of my favorite, very lightweight products for evening out your under eye region. And it doesn't crease, it stays in place all day. I'll use the same beauty blender to just tap it into my skin. You always want to be very gentle in this area, of course. You can see how seamless that coverage is. Don't let the word radiant throw you off. There is no obvious shimmer in this. This is not a highlighter. It truly is like a midday touch-up product that works really well in the under eye region. Now, I am going to experiment with a setting powder for my under eye region today because I feel like I want to make sure that my darker colors that I'm going to apply stay in place and don't transfer, and I feel like that's better achieved with a setting powder. Today I'm working with the Lawless Seal the Deal Loose Setting Powder. This is a talc-free formula. It's everything you would expect from the Lawless brand, which is just superior in terms of ingredients and performance. And I'm using the brightening shade. Once again, same beauty blender, and I'm just going to tap it in. I love applying a bit of powder with a beauty blender. I know it feels counterintuitive, like you'd want to use a brush, and of course you could, but I feel like a beauty blender works really well to just maintain that even finish. For a bronzer, I'll be using the Clé de Peau Bronzing Powder Duo. I forgot how much I like this, and I recently pulled it out of my stash. I've been using it quite a bit lately. I wear this in the O2. I deeply appreciate the fact that there are 2 coordinating shades in a single pan, which allows you to build dimension. You can go a little lighter in the apples of the cheeks and almost use the lighter tone as a blush. And the deeper brown is just so natural looking for a subtle contour. Using my Surratt Beauty Artistic Cheek Brush, of course, to apply, and I'll go into the hollows of my cheeks and perimeters of my face. You can see that my canvas is warmed up. There's a little more dimension, but it still looks really natural, not too orangey, definitely not powdery. This is just a beautiful consistency. For cheeks, I'm using the Clé de Peau Cream Blush in shade number 4. It is my absolute favorite in the mix. It's a perfect, very neutral, beige, dusty rose. And I'm gonna apply it to the apples of my cheeks, just kind of tapping outward. It's not too dark, which is what's great about it, though there is some pigment. You can see there's a subtle radiance, but nothing overtly shimmery. I think this is great for a variety of skin tones, and it does set. So usually when I apply it, I only do that once, and then I don't think about it for the rest of the day. I'll go ahead and prime my lips right now with the Clé de Peau Lace Serum, the lip serum, and this has a really nourishing texture. It is like super skincare in terms of its properties. It's hydrating, it fills things in, and it definitely primes my very dry lips for lip color to come, and I can't wait to show you what that is. For eyes, I'm going with a color story that's different than my normal, very like peachy, golden, neutral eye. I'm taking it up a notch in terms of color. This is a color I recently discovered. It's the Clé de Peau Iridescent Eyeshadow in shade 203, which is a really rich purple. And I do want to point out, even though I'm using a lot of Clé de Peau products, they've been a part of my routine lately. This is not sponsored by Clé de Peau in any way, shape, or form. I'm just sharing products I love. So this purple is what I'm going to distribute all over my upper lid. You guys know I like a nice wash of color rather than a super detailed eye, and this just blends on really nicely. You can already see a lot of impact with a single coat. And this formula wears really well. I put it on yesterday and it lasted the entire day without a touch-up, without creasing, and as aforementioned, it was a really long work day. And then I'm going to take a little bit more on my brush and bring it in my under eye region here. Like so, just for some continuity. I think that purple eyeshadow looks really good on a spectrum of eye color. I think it punctuates things, it takes it up a notch, and even though there's a lot of color going on, it's not so much that you couldn't get away with this in the daytime. To create a kind of a gradient up to my brow bone, I'm going to be working with the Gressa eye tint in the shade Cellophane, which is a stunning glowy pink that has a cream texture, and I'm just using my fingers to blend it upward. You can use this over existing shades or use it as a transition shade. It's completely clean, green, and natural, and Gressa products have been amongst my favorites for a long time, so I'm happy to show you this newest shade from the brand. Just a really soft, ethereal wash of color. Now that this glowy purple eye is finished, I'll move into brows. And I'm using the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel in Chestnut, which you have seen countless times in my content because it is my go-to. I just brush it through for really feathery, defined brows that look natural but have a little extra oomph to them. And this formula is something I recommend all the time. It's just so effortless in terms of its application and its performance, and it holds without flaking all day long. To finish off the eye, I'll use a little bit of eyeliner in the lower waterline. This is the Sisley Fido Kohl in Mystic Green. It's a daily staple for me. It's just a very deep green shade that glides on and stays in place. Punctuating the eye without a lot of effort. For mascara, I'm working with a favorite, the By Terry Lash Expert Twist Brush Mascara. This is probably my 4th tube in a year, so I use one every few months. I'm going to start with it in the lengthening position. Now that my lashes are finished, I'll go ahead and just finalize the orbital region with a bit of the Westman Atelier Lit Up Highlight Stick, which can really brighten the eyes when applied strategically. So I'm putting just a touch of this iridescent cream on the inside corners of my eyes. And it's so nourishing and emollient, and a little bit on the outside here to catch the light. I'll be using a different highlighter for the rest of the high points of my face, but like I said, just a touch in the orbital region here. To finish with highlighter, I'm using the Westman Atelier Super Loaded Tinted Highlight. And this is a opaque in terms of color intensity highlighter that has a cream texture and just beautiful lit from within glow potential. I'm using my fingers to apply, and I'll bring it down the bridge of my nose here for a little warm sun-kissed action, a little bit in the center of my forehead, and then a touch across my upper cheekbones here. I find that this works so well with every foundation I've used it with, from powder to liquid to cream to the Westman Atelier stick here as I'm showing you today. And every time I wear it, people are like, what highlighter do you have on? Because it just looks so natural, but you definitely look glowy. It's an improved version of one's skin. It's bouncy, it's fresh, and it's beautiful. And if there's one place to start with the Westman line, I suggest you let this be your entryway into everything else. Done. For lips, I am excited to introduce one of 3 shades that I just created with the brand Christian Audette, which is based out of New York. It's an independent lip color line. I fell in love with the Christian Audette lip color formula last year. It's opaque. It's hydrating, it wears like a dream. So when they asked if I was interested in creating a few custom shades for them, I was definitely ready and willing, because it's one of the best lip color formulas I have tried to date, and I've tried so many. So this shade, it's called Johanna. This is actually my lab sample, but the official shades are launching in mid-November, so more on that soon. And Johanna, named after my baby daughter, is the most perfect peachy pink nude I could create. So it's got a soft kind of tender satin undertone, but pure cream on the lips. And I'll apply it straight from the bullet now that my lips are primed. This shade was designed to look great on all skin tones. There's enough pigment to not wash out the face, but not so much color as to defy its nude status. And you can layer it for more intensity. You get full coverage in a coat or two. Johanna is a cream lip color, and so when I want a bit of shine, I find that the most complementary shade to this one is the Peau Radiant Rouge lipstick in shade number 11, which I've discussed at length over the last few years. And I'll just put a little bit in the center of my lips here for a little bit more dimension. Some other products I wanted to mention that are in action right now, the Orbe Run Through Detangling Primer. If you deal with tangles as I do, and I'm battling them constantly, especially underneath my hair, closer to the nape of my neck, this primer will save your life. I put it on right after a shower, spray it through my wet hair, and my brush glides through my hair just effortlessly. It does all of this without weighing it down, and I think that's the unique quality of this detangler. I'm also, of course, daily embracing the Maison Francis Kurk de Jean Baccarat Rouge. I like to carry these travel vials with me. They fit in my purse so well. And I am halfway through this one. I'm going to need to pick up a few more soon enough, but it is the scent that I wear almost daily. Then I wanted to bring to your attention these silk scrunchies. I have been using them for quite a while now. I bought some for my mom. We are completely addicted. They are not only beautiful, easy to wear on the wrist, but they also, because they're made of 100% silk, do not pull, tug, or rip out your hair They will not cut it. They definitely will not damage it. And so even when you have to take it out after a tight ponytail, it just slides right out. But while they're in your hair, they hold everything in place. So I love that duality. These are some of the best hair ties I've experienced to date. And they come in a beautiful kind of array of neutrals that I'll make sure to link to. I truly hope you enjoyed this video. A little bit of this and that, of course, a makeup look, an introduction to a lip color collab that's coming up for me, as well as, of course, some discussion of some of the jewelry that I wear on a regular basis. I welcome your questions and comments. I would love to know your thoughts on the products I've showed you today. And of course, we'll continue to update you as my lipstick collaboration gets closer and closer to its official launch with Christian Audet. I am just over the moon for the chance to be able to share these shades with you. They come from my heart, and I can't wait to show you all 3 in the coming days. Thanks so much for watching. As always, don't forget to visit me at Beauty Professor, which can be found at beautyprofessor.com. Take care.